Hello, people. Welcome again to another one of my black videos. I like this format when I'm concentrating on a lot of deep thought, pontification, food for thought videos, because it's easier for me to make when I'm just lying down in bed, chilling, relaxing, looking at the roof. It's not quite that. It's about twilight here, but all you're going to be able to see is black basically. So once again, it's another one of these ones where you just put the phone down, go and do something, or just chill yourself. Just lie down or sit down and just listen to what I've got to say, and just see if it makes any sense, see if it resonates with you. And is there something that I've thought about quite a bit through life, and it's the topic of this is I've got a bit of a hypothesis here. A bit of a theory is the theory is that there's a chance that we are actually living in hell. Because when you think about it, hell, how you might think of it, it's just nothing but pain, suffering, just 24/7 misery for all eternity. But if that was the case, you'd kind of like zone out and get numb to it. And one of the reasons I think this is that in the past I've watched like videos, documentaries, morbid curiosity things of people that have been, we've all seen it, the old people have been tortured, or documentaries where people have, been kept captive and things like that. When like certain religious groups capture people and then eventually execute them. The people that have been treated really, really bad for months on end, they kind of just zone out, get numb to it. They kind of go into this almost trance-like state where their brain protects them. You get numb to it. So, like true pain and suffering 24/7, your brain will. I think your brain would just get numb to it. And you'd just, as a self-defense mechanism, you'd just end up just becoming completely disjointed from oneself, solipsistically disjointed or something like that. But then you've got Earth here, where it seems to me as if nothing but bad things kind of happen, especially if you're like average sub five guy. Let's just take finding a girlfriend for example, where like there's actual little bits of hope. I don't think hell can exist without hope, and then having that hope ripped right under from your feet every time. So that's what kind of happens to me and a lot of other men, a lot of other channels that I listen to as well. You kind of get somewhere in life, you maybe meet a woman, things start to go well, then bang, rip right from under you. Or every now and again, bang, rip right from under you, someone that you love's going to die, or just something will happen that will just kick you right back to square one in this life. I think that is a real plausible definition of a hellish landscape, where not 24/7 misery and suffering, but when there's that inkling, that false sense of hope that you might be able to escape from the nihilistic valley and get happy in life, and then bang, you just back down to square one again. Something happens, and then you're miserable and horrible, depressed, anxious, whatever it is for a while. And it's that roller coaster of hope and misery, that is kind of like a true version of hell. Well, it's a version of a hell, and that's how it kind of feels for me. And this whole week I've been feeling real shit because what is it, Saturday now, and last Monday I had some really bad news while I was at the office. It's like a next door's cat basically ended up being my cat, comes here every day, stays overnight. I've been feeding, take care of it for a bit over a year. I had some bad news that I got hit by a car and he's no longer with us anymore. Got to be careful of the words I use, But and I'm not going to lie, I was broke down, cried, blubbering like a little baby, really. And I'm not too manly or masculine, and I'm not too masculine to admit that it. And it's only really like being today where I've kind of started to get a little bit more equilibrium back. Like I'm still very sad and gutted and like heart's breaking, but it's just like it's just something you wouldn't expect. It's one of them things that life, throws at you. And and this cat too, around about 6, 7 months ago, I wasn't doing too good at all with depression. For those of you that don't know, new listeners and stuff, I am on medications and that for it. And cat was inside. I was just lying down in my bed, just really feeling really lonely, touch starved, and wondering why like I can't find any like a woman. And God forbid you ever ask for any kind of maternal love for a woman, like just to have someone like a woman put their arms around you and say, "Listen, it's going to be okay, mate. It's going to be okay. I know you're going through some stuff, but you'll be right. You'll pull through. It's all going to be okay." We have to do that all the time for women, but God forbid you meet one and they actually want to do that for you. No, that would be an ick, wouldn't it? That would just be icky. A man that needs a little bit of reassurance every now and again. I was just lying down on a bed, and this cat, I have like years and years since I've had any kind of female touch. The cat jumped up on the bed, started purring, and they do this little headbutt thing. It was headbutting my cheeks and my jaw, and I just started bursting out crying just because it was the first time I'd ever been touched by like anyone or anything, and it just, I just needed it so bad. So of course I developed a strong bond with this cat, and going back to what I was saying, it just that connection, that love, that connection just got ripped right out from underneath me, brutally, quickly, and harshly. And it's like I can't have anything. And I know I'm not alone with this as well. I know a lot of guys think this as well. Whether it's, with an animal, with work, with a girl, with family, with making money, with anything, it just seems as though all this life can offer is a glimmer of hope, and then it gets taken away from you. For whatever reason, that hope just gets ripped right out from under you. And I can honestly understand the appeal of self-deletion. I do not advocate for that. This channel and the last channel I had was always against that, but I can understand the whole concept of it, because what's the use when you're living on a planet, you're living in this world of hope and then misery, that roller coaster, them highs and lows of hope, misery, and there's no equilibrium of even contentment, which I know a lot of guys, a lot of people, women too, would settle for. And it just got me thinking, like it's not necessarily something I really believe, but it would make sense, let's say God, religion, heaven, hell, all that stuff is real. It would make sense that Earth, that this place now that we are living on is hell, because I don't think there can exist a true hell without some good times and some hope. As I said, if it's all good times, then it's just, you're in heaven and it's all good. And if it's all bad times, your brain will just disassociate and shut down. But if you're in a place where you've got the illusion of happiness, that's hell. You've got the illusion of happiness and you get dragged back down into the gutter, into the mud again. That's hell. No matter what you do, you can't seem to get ahead. You go outside, everywhere you look, there's happy couples, there's unlooks matched couples too. There's guys that are 2 and 3 out of 10 with 6s and 7s. Hey, go fucking figure. Like I've always said, for the most part, 98, 99% of the time, all this bleak pill stuff we talk about, hypergamy, it's dead true. But then again, you see these couples, and you kind of think, oh, geez, how did they meet? What are the circumstances behind this? Well, we all know there are great women out there, but guess what? They get snapped up and snapped up early. The great women out there that haven't had high body counts, that want to get married and have kids, guess what? They're married, they've got kids. If they want something, they can have it. But I could list thousands of examples, but the best thing I can do is allow you the freedom to list your own examples. I've given you a few of mine. What are some of yours? Just have a little bit of a think about it and see if you resonate with this topic, that we don't necessarily have to be in hell, but is Earth a hellish landscape for you, like it is for me, where you've got that glimmer of hope. Even you might be in that good space for a little bit, then you just get dragged back down to the bottom. Something happens out of your control in life that just brings you right back down to hopelessness, misery, and despair again. It's just this roller coaster. So that's your food for the thought. Fucking speak English, you stupid dickhead. That is your food for thought for today. So just have a little bit of a think about that. Let me know in the comments if you agree. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe and give me a like. I know I hate doing that kind of thing. I feel like an idiot, like begging for that kind of stuff. It's like, you're your own person. If you like something, you're going to like it. If you like me, you're going to sub. But sometimes people need to kick up the arse. Help this channel grow a little bit. Because I know the only people watching this are people that have searched my channel. Because of my last channel and the related phone number, ever since I've made this, it never gave me a chance to go viral. And I know on the last channel there was like 2 or 3 videos that YouTube have picked and really pushed, and that started getting, thousands of likes and all the views and all that kind of stuff. But not one of these videos here has ever been given a chance, so this channel is just, and it's good in a way, because I can really say exactly what I like and not care too much. And it's to help the guys out that are at their wits' end, don't know what to do, to give them an idea of why it is the way it is, especially, not just much life in general, but the male-female dating dynamics. It's just to give you a real, honest, brutal truth explanation of how it is, why it is how it is, some shit like that. So I'm going to leave it there. See you in the next one.